This is Commercial Law Reviewer from Balbastro. So let us have first the chapter 1, general principles, concepts and definitions. So this reviewer is from Balbastro. It is in the form of question and answer. So now, let's define what is commerce. Commerce is that phase of human activity which has for its object to facilitate the exchange of goods and services with the intent to realize a profit. It embraces commercial intercourse in all its purpose, including transportation of persons and property by common carriers. So again, a commerce, it's a human phase, human activity in which the objective of this commerce is to facilitate the exchange of goods and services. That's the purpose of commerce. It's an activity to facilitate, with an objective to facilitate the exchange of goods and services with the intent to realize a profit. An exchange of goods and services in consideration of profit. And also, it includes transportation of persons and property by a common carrier. So again, the objective of commerce is to facilitate exchange of goods and services, including transportation of persons and property by common carrier in consideration of profit. What is a commercial law? Again, from the review we had, commercial law, it's a branch of private law which governs the rights of property and the relations of persons engaged in commerce. So this is the law which governs the relations of persons engaging in commerce, trade and commerce. Now, how we define also maritime law? Maritime law is part of commercial law, which strictly relates to shipping and its incidents. It is the law of the sea and governs acts arising out of maritime commerce. So, maritime commerce, more on shipping. It's a law, maritime law, it's a branch of law. From commercial, under with it is the maritime law, in which it governs any act arising out of maritime commerce, particularly shipping, the ships. Next, what portions of the Code of Commerce of 1888 are still in effect? Still in effect, the portions which are still in force are the following: the Merchants, Book of Merchants, and General Provisions on Contracts. Articles 1 to 63. Joint account associations, commercial barter, transfers of non-negotiable credits, commercial contracts of overland transportation, letters of credit, maritime commerce. So later we will all define this because they are still in effect under the Code of Commerce. What's a merchant? Again, a merchant, or who are those merchants? So these are individuals having legal capacity to engage in commerce. So this person or individual must have the legal capacity, such as the age. It must be 21 years old and above. That's the legal capacity to engage in commerce, habitually devote themselves. So this is the important phrase. Another phrase, habitually devote themselves thereto. So it means to say habitually engaging in commerce. Again, what's a commerce? It's the transportation of goods and services in consideration of profit. So habitually devote themselves in commerce, as well as partnerships, corporations duly organized in accordance with law and registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC. So again, merchants, it includes individuals. with legal capacity, and also partnerships and corporations having with it the juridical capacity. If it is individual with legal capacity to engage in commerce, it should be habitually engaging, including the partnerships and corporations, which they must be registered under Securities and Exchange Commission. What are the elements of a merchant? So next page. So the three elements, this is very important, these are the three elements. Now, it should be natural or juridical person. Natural person must have the capacity that is capacity to do acts with legal effects. So it should be for an individual, it should be with 21 years old 21 years old and above, and must have a predisposition of his property. And the juridical person, who are those juridical person? What are those? So it includes partnership, corporation, the legal capacity, the capacity to do act. That's the definition of legal capacity, the capacity to do act with legal effects. And habitually, it means to say the repetition, the repeating, the habitually, the test of which is the intention and not the number of acts. Okay. It's the intention. It should be the intention of engaging in commerce. That is, those are the elements. Again, natural and juridical person, legal capacity, the capacity to do act with legal effects, and habitually with respect to the intentions, not to the number of acts. Now, law merchant. What is law merchant? It is the system of law that does not rest exclusively on the institutions or local customs of any particular country, but consists of certain principles of equity and usages of trade, which generally convenience and common sense of justice have established to regulate the dealings of merchants and mariners of all the commercial countries of the civilized world. In short, it is the common law of commercial law. As if it is another term for commercial law. Law merchant. It's a system. Principles of equity, usages of trade, which generally convenience and common sense of justice have established. Again, law merchant is a system of law that does not rest exclusively on the institution, but consists of certain principles of equity and usages of trade, which general convenience and common sense of justice have established to regulate the dealings of merchants. Next, what's a joint account? Joint account is also known as Cuentas and Participación. Cuentas and Participación is a joint account. It is a transaction of merchants where other merchants agree to contribute the amount of capital agreed upon. Again, it's a transaction. It's a kind of transaction. Cuentas and Participación is a transaction where merchants agreed to contribute amount of capital. As a continuation, participating in the favorable or unfavorable results thereof in the proportion they may determine. So that is under Article 239 of Code of Commerce. So again, Cuentas and Participación or joint accounts, it's a transaction whereby merchants agree to contribute capital. So what's the distinction between joint account and partnership? How do you distinguish joint account or Cuentas and Participación from partnership? These are the distinctions. A partnership has a firm name. Yes, as we all know, it's a firm name, while joint account has none and is conducted in the name of the ostensible partner. So, name of the partner. Name only of the partner. While partnership, it has a separate and distinct name. separate and distinct name from the individual partners, from the partner. While a partnership has juridical personality and may sue or be sued under its firm name, a joint account has no juridical personality. So, only be sued only in the name of the ostensible partner, not the entire partnership. So, partnership has juridical personality. It can be sued and be sued under its name, but juridical account has none. So, therefore, if you will file a case against those person under the joint account, so file it with in the name of that ostensible partner. While a partnership has a common fund, yes, that's the objective, joint account has none. While in partnership, all general partners have the right of management. In a joint account, the ostensible partner manages its business operation. So only that person. It's just like a sole proprietor, but there are other persons who wants to invest with him. Diba? Under joint accounts, merchants agree themselves to contribute amount for capital. So it's a sole proprietorship, but it's like a sole proprietorship, but there are individuals who agreed to contribute amount, but they do not. Agreeing to contribute an amount does not make them form a partnership, because partnership, it is agreed upon. It is agreed upon to build a partnership. While liquidation of partnership may, by agreement, be entrusted to a partner or partners. So again, for partnership, liquidation of a partnership may, by agreement, be entrusted to a partner. Yes, be entrusted to a partner or by partners in a joint account. In a joint account, again, in liquidation, for partnership, it may be trusted to one of the partner or any other partner. In a joint account, liquidation thereof can only be done by the ostensible partner. So, because only the person that ostensible, it's the opposite of partnership. It can be done or it can be trusted to anyone when it comes with partnership, but in joint account, only by that ostensible partner can make the joint account liquidation. Next, sources of commercial law. So what are the sources that contributes to commercial law? First, it's the maritime legislation. Treaties or conventions, which are contracts or agreements between or among states. So maritime legislation, these are the laws. Maritime legislation, treaties or conventions as agreed between or among the states. Judicial decisions. Commercial usages and customs. Commercial usages. The customs, opinions, commentaries, and codifications of jurists and legal scholars. So those are the sources of commercial law. Commercial law. Characteristics. So we have, it's just only a review here. We talk about this. It has been talked already from the book of Villanueva, the characteristics. But let's have a review in which the characteristics of commercial law are the following: cosmopolitanism or universality, which refers to the universal application of commercial law. So it means say being universal. Next, that's the first, universality. Number two, it's realism, which characterizes commercial law as it applies to actual life and human activities. Again, it's realism, applying to human life, human activity. Preciseness is the exactness with which the principles of commercial law provide solutions to problems of commerce, as in the case of negotiable instruments law. To cite an example, yes, universality, preciseness, realism. Next is the progressiveness, characterizes law in general. Progressiveness, so moving forward, that in general, that law must be stable, but it cannot stand still. Such characteristic applies of greater force to commercial law, greater force, especially in the face of the rapid advances of science and technology. So, universality, realism, preciseness, and progressiveness. Those are the characteristics. This time, we will be talking more about specifically what are those under the study of commercial law. The first is aval. What is an aval?